really excited to have Sienna Spiro live in studio.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I'm like amazed here because Die on the Hill's everywhere, and at first I didn't connect the dots because like everybody knows the song and it's kind of taken off and is this global thing, and here's the artist behind the music. I mean, this is huge. How does it feel just going like 60 miles per hour all of a sudden, 0 to 60?
Feels great. I mean, I'm tired, but I mean, I'm very grateful, and it's very cool, and yeah, just very surreal.
I mean, it's just exploded so fast. How do you prepare yourself for sudden fame like this?
Just hanging out. I don't know. I'm still just like, it's all very new, and I didn't start too long ago. I put my first EP out like last year, and yeah, it's just been a crazy few months that have been very exciting and very new.
You know what's really interesting is you have this. It's like, how do I describe this? You feel like old school, like an old soul.
Thank you.
Jazz. Like I know some of your inspirations are.
Yes.
You know, so, who are some of your inspirations?
I mean, you're right. Like Frank Sinatra, Nina, Aretha, Etta James, Sarah Vaughan, Diane Washington. A lot of 60s girl groups, Shangri-Las, the Ronettes. I mean, I just, grew up listening.
Yeah, and you're only 20 years old, right? So, I mean, how did you get into music that was way before your time?
My dad, to be honest, I mean, he obviously grew up in the 60s, so that was his era of music, and he's a music fan, and would just play all of it when I was younger, and I was so, that was kind of my pop music because that's all I would hear, and I would just try and emulate it in the way I sang. I would always try and like follow the way they used to use their voices, or, it was a very like specific style of singing. It was very visual. I think I would feel like they always used to like throw their voices or like sit in the quiet moments. It was, it's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I would try and like copy it, and that's kind of how I fell in love with music, and ended up writing my own songs from that.
Yeah, and you started young too, or were you like 10 years old?
Yes.
How do you write music as a 10-year-old? What are you inspired by?
The things I just told you about, and also
no, but like what kind of life experiences as a child?
Well, you're right. Yeah, I mean, I was very emotional. I wrote about bullying. That was my first song.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't know. I've always been emotional, and I've always been very dramatic, and I've always, I was just like a younger version of who I am now, but like very similar, to be honest. And I've just always been very overwhelmed by my emotions, and that's kind of how that song came about when I was 10, I guess. And yeah, it's kind of always what I've pulled from, to be honest.
I think a lot of people can relate to that because there are many of us, especially women, who grow up being told that we're too much, or we're too sensitive, or we're too reactive.
Yes.
But it's beautiful how you can take something like that, take that lived experience and make it into something creative.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you as well.
What stands out more to you when you're in that process? Is it more about the lyrics, or is it more about the tone of your voice, like the dynamics of it?
It's all of it, to be honest. I think, I don't believe music comes from people. I believe it comes from something bigger, and the difference between like me and maybe someone who doesn't write music is just I'm connected to like a source, some people call it. And I really see myself as more of like a translator, because where does it come from? Like, I don't know where like melody comes from. That's such a like instinctual thing that it doesn't exist and then it does exist.
Yeah.
And obviously,
also the fact that there's only so many notes in it, in a chord.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that people could come up with something so different, and the meanings are so different too. It definitely does feel more like it's so higher,
more emotional than the lyrics, to be honest. I think melody, because it's something that's like, indescribable. Like, it's not, you can't put words to it. We have conversation every day, we talk every day, we use words for that. But like melody, it's something way deeper to me, and something way more emotional. And I find that the most cathartic. I love lyrics, and I've been writing lyrics since I was so young, but melody is a thing genuinely that I think is the most cathartic part of the song. Or it's just the most emotional, because you just don't know why it makes you feel that. You can understand why words make you feel some way, because you relate to it, you use them in your everyday life. But yeah, melody is the most emotional part of the song.
I was gonna say, you can get chills just from thinking about the way something sounds.
Yeah.
And there's something magical about that. right, so let's talk about some of your music. So The Visitor just came out, and I want to know what that track represents to you.
Honestly, it took me 2 years to write because I did it 9 times. Because it just has been like the biggest theme throughout my life. I've always felt like a visitor since I was, super young, and I think it's so relatable because, I'm very aware of like the temporary natures of things. I have a very big fear of impermanence. I'm very scared of like things ending or people leaving, and I think it goes from when you're, super young and you're with friends and you just know that if you stop trying, you stopped, trying to involve yourself or make a plan or texting or calling or, trying to be with other people, it would end and that situation would end and you wouldn't, be invited or you wouldn't be included. And I often would really like try so hard with people, and I also often like made myself of service to people so that they needed me and they wouldn't, I wouldn't expire.
You're doing
to them.
a disservice to yourself.
Well, yeah, you ends up hurting you way more. Or, when you're older and you have like, my first relationship when I was, 16, 18, and, you just feel like you're temporary to those people and you feel like a passing experience in those people's life. And, I think, most things in life are temporary. We all are temporary. We're all visitors in some way. And I think you have to, look at it in a sense that, beautiful things are temporary and they do die and they don't last. And you have to, maybe love them more because they're like that. But yeah, I think it's just been such a big theme throughout my life. And I think it's like the perfect way to explain it for me.
You speak with the wisdom of someone twice your age.
We were just talking about how uneloquent I am in the car.
So. I feel like, a lot of us, it takes a long time. We go through this and we make mistakes and we learn. Sometimes we learn from these mistakes. But you really seem so self-aware.
Try to be.
And I feel like that's really translating into the music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try to be.
I love this. You've definitely been working on yourself.
I'm trying.
That's so great. Well, we talked about your influences. Let's talk about the debut EP, Sink Now, Swim Later. It has hundreds of millions of streams.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm sure your people can tell you. I mean,
cool.
The fact that it has seen so much success. I mean, what is it like now? And then obviously like selling out your first ever headlining tour, it must really speak a lot to you.
That's crazy because the last tour I did, it wasn't selling and I had to fall asleep on TikTok live video to try and sell tickets.
But that's what I'm saying. These people on TikTok live are seeing you and they're connecting. No, they're connecting with you. And now they want to see you in person. No.
I know.
We think they felt bad the first time around.
No, I just remember like, you were like, come on, let's go. And I was like, no one's buying anything. So I was like, and I remember I was like in a different time zone. So I was like, hey guys, like they're on sale now. And I just like slowly drifted off for like half an hour.
Oh my God.
And then I woke up and ended it. But yeah, sorry. You didn't
Good thing you weren't drooling on there.
I don't fuck.
You might have been.
Sorry.
You might know.
But anyway,
okay.
I'm very, very grateful for that because that is really, I think that situation made me understand like how lucky I am that people actually wanted to come and how, amazing that is. And I'm very, very, very grateful for that.
I think because of that, they're seeing how real and authentic you are, that they're like, you know what?
Seeing
we want to see you
form.
IRL. Let's do this. I mean, it's pretty awesome. You have, let's see, 2 shows coming up here in New York, one tomorrow, one Wednesday. Oh my, Bowery Ballroom. Like, what's that going to be like?
I don't know. I haven't done it yet. But New York's my favorite city in the world. I mean, other than London. But like I love New York. Similar
vibe, especially today.
Yes. So anytime I get to be here, I'm so happy and so inspired and grateful. So I'm just excited to play here.
What's the first thing you do when you come to New York?
I always go to Smalls. That's just like my favorite place in the world. I'm going tonight. And I eat loads. I just love eating here. I walk around. I walk everywhere here because I'm just so inspired. There's just so much to do here. I'm always doing something. I'm never quiet.
I love the food. The food thing, obviously. Like we have
amazing food,
so much
shopping, walking, seeing things. I mean, I just like feel like a human being here.
So you're traveling all over the place. Who do you bring with you? Okay. So you have your 2 besties,
my queens. Tour manager and manager.
Oh, amazing.
And
I feel like
Eddie.
it's important to have people who you are very friendly with, who you trust, to keep you grounded.
And they're the best. I mean, also to have like two amazing women. I'm actually surrounded by amazing women. And like, I liked what you said earlier, you know, about how women are usually treated, and especially how women are treated in the industry, is actually appalling. Sorry, I know that's like not
it's
was a
getting
question,
no,
but
is
it's like absolutely like heartbreaking and genuinely something that because a lot of people talk about women, you know, as artists and how women are treated like front facing, and that has gotten better for sure. You know, I'm grateful that I'm in an era that I have autonomy over, you know, my music and who I am, and people trust me to do that. But people behind the scenes, especially women, are not treated well at all.
There's always somebody looking to take advantage, you know, and it's so sad to say.
Or undermine,
like, and you have
massively.
to have people you trust. And I feel like there is some sort of unwritten girl code where if you get your best girlies together, like less likely that's gonna happen.
It does happen though. That's the problem. It's like it's a real boys club.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you have your best girls there to support
I'm lucky,
you.
yeah.
We look out for each other. It's kind of how it's always been, because we know how hard it is. We know that women, I mean, it was just International Women's Month, knowing that we don't get paid as much as men on average. We don't, you know, we work just as hard, sometimes do more. So to have your best girls look out for you, it's an important thing. And the fact that we've had other artists kind of pave the way for owning the rights to your music, you know, how much you might get paid for streaming, things like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all of that. And I just think it's so important that like people behind the scenes are also like highlighted as well as like, you know, women who are more front facing.
Yay. Love you guys.
Women.
We rock. So anything else you want to tell your fans that are seeing you here on social, on the radio?
Anything I want to tell them? I don't know. I feel like I'm always just talking. Love you so much.
Well,
thank you for having me.
We love you. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for your questions.